Hello! Alright, so we're back to Hollow Knight for another day of recording. So, I will apologize in advance if there's any kind of background noise. Unfortunately, the entire neighborhood has decided to do their yard work today, and there are motors blazing in the environment. I'm hopeful that the music and my voice will kind of drown that out so it won't be super noticeable, but I have to make do with what I'm given, and until I return home, I'm kind of stuck doing the best I can. Do you see that tall cliff beyond the town's graveyard? That's only the base of a much larger peak. There's mines and machinery and all sorts of valuable rock forms inside. Many a traveler through Dirtmouth headed straight for it. So today we are going to head to the Crystal Peaks, which is what the elder was just describing. Right, I bought out his shop. Let's go buy out this, let's buy out the map shop too while I'm here. But today we will explore the Crystal Peak. Would help if I actually... Oh, I already bought all her stuff too. Alright, well, it's been a hot minute since I played. A whole less than 24 hours period, I guess. So the best way to get to the Crystal Peak will be through the Forgotten Crossroads, I believe, and I just travel to the right. Yeah, so let's go this way. That was clean. Just gonna keep moving along. Anyway, so today, what can I talk about? So I just attended a seminar on learning how to create a LinkedIn profile. I've somehow never touched LinkedIn despite being this far into my professional career. But it's probably about time I made one, so that's something I'm looking not necessarily forward to, but a project I can work on. I've recently updated my resume too. It's funny, after talking about all those volunteer work experiences in the previous videos of this series, I realized I should probably include those things on my resume, as it turns out. Funny that. A little bit of hindsight afforded to me in the video creation process. Not what I would have expected. But I think that's really all I've done today. I'm still trying to maintain an exercise routine, although I haven't done anything today just yet. Bury my body, cover my shell, what meaning in darkness, yet here I remain. I'll wait here forever till light blooms again. Bury, body, cover, shell, darkness no meaning, dangerous. Still remain light again. Whoa. I'm curious if this game goes into detail about what it's actually like causing people to... Sure, I don't know if I should call them people, but the bug peoples is causing them to change here. Oops. Alright, we're just gonna bypass that. Up we go. Anything over here? Nope. Alright, so we're on to the Crystal Peak. Here we are. Oh, not just yet? Okay. Ah, I see. We can't access this until we get the drops. Oops. Well, we gave it a second drop. That's fine. Ah, now we're in the Crystal Peak. There we go. Well, I guess there's no coming back from the way we came. Just making sure I didn't miss anything over there. Okay, good. Yeah. I like this area. It was actually... This area has the first boss I died to in my original playthrough. Huh. Tool machine with a gate. Let's open that. Let's see anything good in here. Let's see. What other stories can I tell while we're here? So I recently got my Steam Games in Review from Steam, since we're... Oh gosh, we're only about 11 days away from the end of the year. That's wild. Time has flown and crawled at the same time. Must be some sort of beetle, I guess. A winged creepy crawly was the time of this year, I suppose. But... Oh, okay, this leads here. Okay. So... Yeah, I don't need to explore this, I've already done this. So let's see. The game I played the most based on time alone, apparently, was Melvor Idol, which I really don't remember playing as much of that as I apparently have. But apparently it made up of 55% of all of my game time this year. Which I guess makes sense. It's an idle game intended to be played in the background. It's, I don't know if it was originally produced by Jagex, the company that makes RuneScape, but it's definitely owned by them now. If you like RuneScape but you want more of the idle game aspect of it, it's definitely worth checking out. I know you quite enjoyed it for a while, and then it was oddly enough the gateway drug, if you will, into getting you to play RuneScape with me. RuneScape is a game that I have played for many years, and I still quite enjoy it. I mostly play RuneScape 3, and I know that's probably a controversial statement. I acknowledge that in terms of what is probably the ideal RuneScape experience, old school is definitely the way to go. But I guess it's kind of a sunk cost issue for me. I had already committed so much time to the original RuneScape that when I transitioned over to the evolution of combat and RuneScape 3, I didn't really want to let that go. Although funny enough, the evolution of combat was a bit of a turnoff for me. I wouldn't say I quit the game, but I really did not touch combat for a very long time, and now I'm finally exploring it, and I've honestly kind of come to enjoy it. I don't have a lot of MMO experience outside of... Sorry, I'm adjusting my headphones that are falling off. I don't have a lot of experience playing MMOs with the kind of combat system that RuneScape employed. I imagine it's similar to how World of Warcraft works, and it's reminiscent a little bit of Terra, although not quite the same because of how RuneScape functions on a tick-based system. Everything is a little bit of a delay. I'm gonna try and lower my volume. It's just a little bit too loud. So the core gameplay is, or the core mechanic gameplay, the core combat gameplay, there we go, is definitely different from other games. I'm definitely more of a fan of real-time combat where applicable, so RuneScape 3's combat system doesn't fully jive with me. I'm very thankful they employed what they call the Revolution system, which lets you play combat effectively AFK. You set up your abilities in a bar, and then they're automatically used over time in the order that you place them. So I can still do combat relatively AFK, which I'm very thankful for, but it's I do want to learn more active combat and get better at boss encounters and stuff. But it seems like I've been playing right now. They're doing a lot of combat type reworking, or at least the plan is to do some combat rework with the release of Necromancy, their newest combat style. Everything else has just gotten completely thrown under the bus. Necromancy is just so unbelievably strong that all of the other combat styles aren't necessarily unviable, but they're just not. They just don't compare. Their DPS output, their survivability. Well, maybe not the survivability. Magic still has plenty of survival options because of a spell called Animate Dead that just gives you a really strong flat damage reduction. The difference is that can only be used with tank armor. You can't really use it with You can't really use it with damage dealing armor or DPS armor. Whereas Necromancy, its defensive abilities are all capable of being used while using the DPS armor. So it just has everything going for it. It has AoE, it has the best DPS in the game, it has amazing survivability. You really can't go wrong with Necromancy right now. I don't know why I thought I could make that, but I really wanted to try it. Oh, well, here's the Ancient Basin, or whatever it's called. Cursed are those who turn against the king. It actually may be worthwhile exploring this, because I believe this leads to the grave area where I would unlock the Dream Nail. Pretty much the last thing I did in my playthrough is unlock the Dream Nail and the things associated with it. A mechanism with a slot for some kind of pass. Alright, we're not getting here yet. Yeah, I got the Dream Nail and fought 2 Dream bosses, and that's about it. That's more or less where I left off. So I have completed this area in theory, and I've completed the Crystal Peak. I guess I didn't need... Here's a shrine. Let's read this. Oh yes, here's where we get the Dream Nail. To protect the vessel, the dreamers lay sleeping. Monomon the teacher in her archive surrounded by fog and mist, Lurian the watcher in his spire looking over the city, Hera the beast in her den amidst the deep darkness of beyond the kingdom. Their devotion hollowness lasts eternal. Dreamer locations added to map. Go no further, little chateau. What compels its climb out of the darkness? What compels its return to this sacred kingdom? A call from beyond the seals, by the vessel or by the captive light? Would the seals break? They cannot be undone. But the vessel weakens, that plague springs anew, they must be undone. Yet still our seals remain, our duty holds. It must be cast away. Our duty holds, it shall be done. Fade away, little shadow, fade away and let us sleep in peace. It's a bug friend. Doot, 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 doot. Sound effects are necessary for any game, especially when they are provided by the player, right? Sorry. Anyway, oh gosh, what was I talking about? Man, I am so easily distracted and lose my train of thought on the beat of a heart. Oh right, I was talking about oops. Well. So I was talking about Melvor Idol, and yes, I play RuneScape 3 primarily. I am a max level character, except for Necromancy at this point, which is 113, and I'm currently working towards the Completionist Cape, which is exciting. I think it's a lot of busy work, but I've played RuneScape for so long. What a terrible fate they've visited upon you, to cast you away into the space between body and soul. Will you accept their judgment and fade slowly away? Or will you take the weapon before you and cut your way out of this sad, forgotten dream? Let's cut our way out. Whoa! Taken the dream nail. Hold Y to charge and slash with the nail. Cut through the veil between dreams and waking. Oh, I forgot about this NPC somehow. Alright, so if you've ever seen the anime Made in Abyss, her sounds vaguely make me think of Mitty from the Japanese dub. I will say no more on the subject, but if you have not seen Made in Abyss and you have a tolerance for body horror, I highly recommend it. If you don't have a tolerance for body horror, don't take it at face value. Don't look at its appearance and say, "Oh, this looks cute. Let's watch it." It is okay. I believe it's episode 8. If you make it to episode 8 and you make it through episode 8 and and you're comfortable, well, all right. Well, good for you, I suppose. Ah, you've returned. Welcome back to the waking world. Those figures, those dreamers, they reached out with what little power they still have and dragged you into that hidden place. But that talisman you now wield, the dream nail, it can cut through the veil that separates the waking world from our dreams. Even the dreamers themselves cannot hide from such a weapon. Though I must admit that sacred blade has dulled over time. Together, perhaps, we can restore its power. You only have to bring me essence. Essence, the precious fragments of light that dreams are made of. Collect it wherever you find it and bring it to me. Once we have enough, we can work wonders together. Go out into the world, wielder. Hunt down the essence that lingers there. Collect 100 essence and return to me. I will teach you more. You are still unpracticed in the ways of dreams. Collect 100 essence with the dream nail. Visit me again, and I shall share what little wisdom I have. Essence can be found wherever dreams take root. Have you seen them? Those whispering plants that grow all over this old kingdom. I believe there's one just outside. Why not strike it with your dream nail and see what happens? Alright, she already said this. Alright, let's go get that dream root. But yeah, so Melvor Idol has somehow turned out to be my most played game of the year, occupying about 55% of my time. I feel like it's cheating a little bit though, because realistically speaking, again, it's a game that you open up, you leave running in the background, and unlike RuneScape where you have to click every set number of minutes, Melvor you can basically leave idle for a full 24 hours before it matters at all. So I probably shouldn't completely count it. So the next most played game, to I think neither of our surprises, Factorio, despite having only started to play it in the last maybe like 2 months, it occupied about a quarter of my total game time. And then the other 2 most occupying time-consuming games were Littlewood and Sunhaven. So I've very much enjoyed playing these. Oh, is this the? I think this is the music that plays in the title screen a little bit. Or it's very similar, if not entirely the same. Oh. I don't think I've done this before. Oh, you know what? I found it by going the other way. Okay. I know where I am. We'll explore down that way later. Let's go, observe the completed dream route. If this isn't the opening, if this isn't the title screen theme, it is very similar. Dead remembered, pertinent moth, dreams revered. Alright, so that gave us some essence in theory, although I may have left the room and I don't know if I got it all. Let's see what she has to say. Ah, Wielder, you returned. Let me look at the dream nail. You are still in practice in the ways. Okay. Oh, you should carefully search near graves and other monuments. Why, I believe I saw an interesting gravestone here in the resting grounds. If you do decide to disturb those dreams, though, be prepared for a fight. Sometimes dreams take the shape of those who have passed away. Such dreams are bountiful sources of essence. Alright. So, I think that's the other monument that I just walked past, but it might not be. Let's just go through these different doors and see what I can find. I think this is where the thing she was referencing is. Yep, here's the monument. Let's see. Oh, Dream Shield. What is that? I think that makes the Dream Nail charge up faster. Defensive charm once wielded. Oh no, this is one of your favorite charms. It's the one that makes the shield fly around you that does extra damage. Defensive charm once wielded by a tribe that could shape dreams. Conjures a shield that follows the bearer and attempts to protect them. Now let's just read about the Dream Nail real quick if it's in here somewhere. Is that it? There it is. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's a little dream catcher. That's cute. Allows the wielder to cut through the veil between dreams and waking. Can be used to reveal hidden dreams or open gateways. The dream nail can collect essence, remnants of wishes and dreams. Alright, let's see what this grave has to offer. Protect yourself. You are our last. Alright, I guess this isn't the monument she was referencing, but still. A nice little defensive, offensive upgrade. Alright, there was another door over here. Let's see what's over here. Oh, the stat coach. Did I unlock this yet? I don't think I have. Oh, hey, Cornifer. Sorry I missed you. If you're feeling lost, why not pop up to our store in Dirtmouth and purchase a map of this area, available now for an excellent price. Alright, let's unlock this. And let's talk to our friend. Hello, friend. Many stag stations have been opened. Again, I can travel to the breadth of the kingdom. Travel the breadth of the kingdom. So many grand thoroughfares and old sideways I'd forgotten. Somewhere amongst the lines lies the stag nest, the place where I was born and raised. I thought its location lost to my failing mind, but now I can almost remember the path. If you keep opening stag stations and beckoning me through them, perhaps I'll find that nest. I would like that very much. Alright, well, let's travel along then. I guess this is definitely not where I expected to end up, but it looks like where we'll be staying for the foreseeable future. Although I guess I could bail out through the stag nest if I really wanted to. What happens if I hit this with the dream nail? Nothing? Okay. Try one more time, even though I don't know. I know it won't work. Alright, so I guess it's these things down here. Let's see, could I have hit this with the dream nail? No. Alright, this one's the one I think I'm supposed to hit. Nope. Alright, nothing to do with that just yet, so it must be this way where the monument is. This is what we already read. To protect the vessel, the dreamers lay sleeping. I wonder if the vessel is the Hollow Knight's vessel. I'm not sure. So this way... I don't have the map for this area. You know what? Let's pop up to Dirtmouth real quick and get that map, and then I'm going to completely ADHD myself a third time, because what I want to do for the next probably foreseeable future, because I know I'm not beating him on the first try, is I am going to go and fight the dream version of the very first boss of the game. That fight was very difficult for me on my first playthrough. I think I spent a good couple hours and then slept on it and beat it in a couple tries later the next day. But, I want to see how I handle him now that I've actually had my first victory against him. I am not promising anything. He can, three-shot me, so he's a very tough fight. But I think I'm going to give him a shot. I want to see how that goes. Anyway, So Factorio, I think I've already recorded a couple videos of, but I'm trying to learn the speedrun. I might just start that over from scratch. I've now tried recording the speedrun like 2 or 3 times, but I've gotten like some life event has distracted me away from it, so I haven't really been able to keep up with it. And one of them is visiting home. I can't really, I can't very easily play mouse-based games just because of the setup. It's too cramped. There's not enough room to even move my mouse. Hi, Bretta. I wish I could talk to you, but I can't. But that means you have a new journal. Let's read it. The white savior in darkness, troubled dreams beset the maiden, her savior gone, consumed below. Now her only companion, the cold wind, moaning at her door, her heart fluttered with sudden fear. I think we've read this one already, but I'm not sure. Then still, a sudden calm. Why? A presence, a figure close behind. She doesn't dare look, doesn't dare move, fearful that the slightest action would break the spell. She knew the presence at her bed, knew the calm only they could bring. Her white savior, now protector, standing tall beside, powerful, perfect. Yeah, we read that one before, but we'll get a new one the next time we come in because we've gone and sat next to her on the bench. Unless we missed that one for some reason. Alright, let's get the resting grounds and the dream nail markers also. Warrior's grave pin. Okay, yeah. So these graves are where I can fight things with the dream nail as well. Alright, so that'll be better. And now you'll tell us about a ghost, right? Did you... Nope. Alright, this is the one about the Crystal Peak, and then... Nope. Alright, he doesn't tell me about his ghost friend just yet, but there is a ghost that shows up here. In my original playthrough, before I knew what I was doing, I accidentally banished the ghost with my dream nail. I don't know if... There he is. Hi, friend. Another wielding a weapon. I suppose you'll be leaving many a corpse in your wake. If you won't spare a thought for the dead, at least consider all the extra work you force upon those in my profession. Do as you will, little wanderer. Cut a path toward your goal. I shouldn't complain. It's your kind that keeps folks like me in business. I'm gonna leave him be. I don't know if there's like, I get an essence for it, but it's only one. And it feels, at least, there's a different area in the Ashen Grave, or whatever it was called. That the place that I just got the map for, whose name I've already forgotten. It feels a little dubious to go slicing up ghosts like that. Anyway, Forgotten Crossroads. Here we go. All right. So, oh hey, a friend. What have you got to say? Pale thing. You use these old lines? Pathetic. A real warrior carries himself to combat. He has no need for such convenience. Leave me be. It's the arena I seek. I've already wasted far too long on these cursed roads. I do wonder where the arena is. I know I'll find it soon enough, but... Alright, so this actually is right by where the boss fight is, so I'm just gonna go straight up like this. Oh, oh, for a second I thought I was gonna avoid the damage there. A shame. Oh, you know what? Before I go in, I should switch up my, my charm setup. Because I know... Fragile Greed is gonna get lost if I fight this. Let's not waste that. What I will use is... I can afford 2. I haven't gotten the extra notch yet because I haven't found the charm saleswoman. So I'll have to pick and choose what I think is the best. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go with this because it really did amazing work in my previous playthrough. Assuming I'm interpreting what was happening correctly. None of these are really worth it, so I'll just grab the Wayward Compass. Why not? Alright, we have equipped the Dung Defender crest, which now makes me smell really bad. I do... Oh! Odd, that gave a essence for some reason. I do wonder if NPCs react to you wearing this. I'll have to try it out someday. Nope. I'm just gonna fill up my soul real quick on him, and then I will say I'm actually less equipped for this fight than my first playthrough because I had the I had an extra notch and an extra soul container. I have neither on this playthrough. Alright. Lost some soul. Let's go back and regenerate this. There we go. Alright. Didn't realize there was more enemy raiding there. Alright. So this is interesting. So you see the armor here, you can't nail it. But if you crawl along this way, you're gonna hear some sad sounds. And I spent so long on my first playthrough just trying to hunt down where this sound was coming from. Like, you hear them mostly over here. It feels bad. And it feels worse when you find out why they're crying. So let's go find out and feel extra bad. So I believe the wall to get in here is over here. I remember searching very extensively on the left side because I kind of, because they were louder there, I thought that's where they would be, but here they are. Mourning the loss of their dearly departed friend. Oh, what? Are they taking damage from crashing into the wall? Oh, it's my gas. I killed them with my gas. That feels bad. Alright. Deep breath, and here we go. So basically the way the Dream Nail works is, if I presume if I revisit the sites of previously fought bosses, I can Dream Nail them, enter the dream of their corpse, and have a rematch. But that rematch is not easy. Here we go. Oops. Yeah, also this guy does double damage, so I gotta be careful. Yeah, I cannot heal. Oh, that's the thing he does that throws me off the most, if he does the projectile attack more than once. Alright, that was not even a clean intro. The nice thing is if you die, you really don't even get punished for it. You just, I mean, the punishment is returning to the boss, which definitely is a bit draining. But I will only go to the end of this episode trying to beat this guy, and if I can't make it past that point, I'll move on in the next video. So I've got 15 minutes of attempts. Let's go. Alright. Forgive me if my commentary is going to be a little bit sparse, just because this guy is effectively my archnemesis of some nature. He really just did smack my booty apart in my original playthrough. Oops. Yeah, I could have dodged that. Yeah, and I could have dodged that too. I shouldn't have jumped. Alright. Yeah, I remember his patterns. He just, for some reason, does not mesh well with my, like, play style, I guess. But also, he's just he feels like he's a hard boss. I think I could no damage him at some point in my life, but I'm definitely not there yet. Alright. He takes about 50 hits without the Dung Defender. With the Dung Defender, I don't know. You can also hit these little balls back at him that are falling from the ceiling, but I need to focus on not getting hit. I don't really have the time to focus on evading his attacks and hitting the balls and outside of his rampage phase, which happens every time you actually deal damage to him. So you'll notice I'm not gaining soul every time I fight him, because his armor doesn't count as his body. All I'm doing is I'm denting his armor until he pops his head out, and then I can DPS him proper. And so I have to do it like 3 or 4 times rather. So it's a rather... There we go. Okay, so now I can DPS him and get soul. And then what he'll do is he'll run to the center and start smacking his mace around, but this is my chance to heal. And I can fling some of these back at him to deal some damage from a distance. And now we go back to this process. So yeah, Dung Defender, it's only a minor amount of damage, but it really adds up, and it speeds this fight up immensely, I've found. Which I find hilarious. I am 1 hit from death, though, because he does 2 damage in 1 hit. Except for his rocks. So I have to be careful. I'm making pretty good, this is going reasonably okay so far, though. So I think the lesson I learned in my original playthrough is if he jumps backwards, he's going to use his shockwave ability for sure. And the best thing you can do is just stay away while he's doing that, and then dash forward when he finally jumps towards you. But basically, the trick to beating this guy is... you want to smack him only... You need to use your dash for sure, and you need to dash towards where he was. Oops. Save that. Nice. You need to dash towards where he was when he jumps towards you, and you need to effectively dash away when he jumps away from you, because you need to have enough space to respond to the shockwave. So he's going to use the shockwave here, for example. And then he jumps towards me, so I'm going to start DPSing. He jumps away, so I know the shockwave is coming, so I can jump over it. And until he jumps towards you, you need to be ready to dodge the other shockwaves. It seems like he can only do 3 shockwaves in a row. So if he does 3, you know you're safe, and his next attack is going to be jumping towards you. But see, every time he jumps to where you were, he's going to take damage from the Dung Defender crest. So it seems like a pretty effective strategy for my purposes, at least. So I know he jumped away, so I expect the shockwave. He's jumping towards me, so I can DPS. Towards me, so I DPS. And there we go. That's his first phase. Now we just smack his face a bit, and we heal up while he's recovering. You can get 2 hits on him there, but you have to wait like half a second before you hit him, because he's temporarily some sort of invulnerable. Oh, I didn't dodge that appropriately. His shockwave only does 1 damage, so... or 1 heart worth of damage. I messed up. Okay. Back to business. So jumps towards me, so I attack. Jumps away, so I need to back off. Jumps towards me. Sometimes you just get really bad rock RNG, unfortunately, and when that happens, you're kind of just stuck. Because your options are either take the hit from him or take the hit from the rock. Obviously, the rock is the better option because the rock does less damage. So he's going to shockwave. Jumps towards me, so I dash in. Oh, oh. Okay, managed to dodge those, and cool. I'll be able to heal up. I got full HP, or I got 3 hearts off of this if rock RNG permits, which it did. Whoop. All right, so I'm gonna try and kite him towards the center of the room because I don't like where he is right now. There we go, and now back to DPSing. All right, I wasn't sure if he was gonna do the shockwave there, so I played it safe. Messed that one up. All right, I'm 1 hit away from death. But, okay, he's jumping backwards, so he's going to shockwave. Shockwave again. Shockwave a 3rd time, so he's going to dash towards me now, so I'm ready for it. And dashes towards me. Dashing away, so he's going to use the shockwave. Jump. Whoop. See, that was an instance where rock RNG really screwed me over. But better to get hit by the rock than him, because that would have killed me if he hit me. The rock I can deal with. Okay. I'm almost there. Shockwave. I knew I had enough space to dash away. I timed wrong. Alright. That went pretty well, I'd say. But you can see, like, I know his patterns. It's mostly just maintaining focus enough to make it happen. What I may do is, in my final attempt of the video, I might just forgo commentary in lieu of focusing on the fight. Not that that's necessarily going to go any better, but I can at least say I had a genuine, honest try before moving on. I do feel like I can beat him in this video, though, based on how that last attempt went. That was close, but in general, you want to dodge towards him rather than away from him, because when he does his jump towards you, rather. Man, I'm just not getting good rock RNG. The other thing that makes this fight a lot easier is getting any one of the long nails, because the long nails position you in a position where he does slightly more forward a jump. So when he's jumping towards me in a lot of these instances, it looks like he's barely moving forward at all. If you use the long nail, you can space in a way that makes him jump a bit further forward, like that jump, for example, and it makes it a lot easier to evade his attacks. Alright, first phase done. Every phase is basically the same with this guy, but... Okay, let's heal up. I only can heal twice here, unfortunately, but that saves me from dying in 1 hit. Alright, didn't expect the shockwave there, but... I still have 2 hits, or I can still take 1 hit from him. Okay, that's my 1 hit. Now I have to play extra safe, which isn't actually going to happen. Just going to do the shockwave again. Shockwave the 2nd time. Only 2 shockwaves there. Alright. So yeah. The other thing is if you stay close enough to him, his jumps actually protect you from the falling rocks in a lot of instances. Alright, I'm going to space a little bit. Alright, now we go back to DPSing. Alright, it's going to shockwave, so I back off. Go towards him. See, all of those rocks hit him instead of reaching the ground because his arc covers all of them. Alright, rock RNG so far has been a bit kinder to me. Alright, here's where we generate soul. This should allow me to heal 3 3. I'm gonna call them hearts for lack of a better word. I mean, masks. Yeah, see, rock RNG just got me killed. That was unfortunate. Like, now I'm 1 hit away. I lost my other heal because I got hit there. Yeah, yeah, if I had the long nail, that would make this fight a lot easier because it would allow me to space against him much more easily. That jump that got me there was barely any X-axis movement. With the long nail, you're always in the perfect position such that he will jump slightly more forward, and it makes it so much easier to dash under him without getting caught underneath. Alright. That was my own fault. I knew he was going to shockwave, and I just didn't move. Yeah. Whoop. Yeah, I was too far away on that one. Alright, so not a great first phase, but we're going to keep going with it and see where it takes us. Alright. DPS. Shockwave, so back off. Jump over it. Stay underneath him. You just have to be ready to dash the second he jumps. And if you time it well enough, you can get some free hits in before he starts launching his shockwaves. So here just comes a shockwave, 1, only the 1. Start smashing him, get a hit, and then back off. 2nd, 3, so he's going to jump now, so I can dash underneath him. Alright, that's the first phase. Smack, 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 smack. Alright, hope we're good at rock RNG. Going for the second heal, and that's all I can get. Hit him a couple times with that. He's going to do the shockwave. Tried to get a hit, but couldn't. Here's the shockwave. 1. Only 1. Smack, smack, smack. But you can see every time he gets close enough, he's taking damage from the Dung Defender crest. So I think it's a really good crest for this fight. My ideal setup would probably be the Dung Defender crest, a long nail of any sort, or both long nails, honestly. Because see, that less distance traveled hop that he does sometimes really messes me up. Alright. I could probably count the number of hits I've got on him, but the Dung Defender makes it much harder to track. Alright, shockwave, so back off. Almost got it. There we go. Alright, there's the second phase. Do a bunch of smacking. That'll give me 3 heals if I'm lucky. Will rock RNG permit? Going for it. Okay, got it. Well, yeah. Rock RNG is real and painful in this fight. Alright. Oh. Well, I could that hit could have been avoided. Alright. Oh, I misjudged where he was gonna jump. Alright. Yeah, but I really do feel confident that I can beat this boss. But, well, I've got a couple more minutes worth of tries. Maybe... I'm mostly just vocalizing what I'm thinking as I'm doing it, but maybe I'll try this one without commentary and just see how it goes. It's not going to go better, clearly. Honestly, I think maybe verbalizing helps me focus a bit better. Oop. Well, let's see, 2 hits, and then I can back off. He's going to do another shockwave, so I'll only get the 1 hit in. Now he's going to dash. Just keep dashing underneath him. Or, yeah. 2. Jump. That rock almost hit me. You can get 2 hits in on him when he jumps backwards if you time it right. You have to dash into him to do it, though. It's a little risky if I'm not careful. Oop, hit the rock. That's fine. Ideally, I only get hit once between phases because that'll give me enough time to heal. That rock was really unfortunate. I'm not going to get enough soul here to fully heal. But I'm going to try and get these 2 hearts back. It would help if I actually hit these in the right direction, right? Alright. Oh, he used a shockwave even though he jumped at me. Sometimes that just be, and there's not much I can do about it. And it's usually because you've jumped towards a corner, so that's why I try to keep the fight towards the center where possible. Alright, he's going to shockwave, so I'm going to back off. Whoop. Yeah, so I'm 1 hit away from death, so rock RNG is really the deciding factor here. Back off. Okay, good. We got the phase. So I should be at least able to heal myself up to 3 hearts which means I should be safe enough to not get one shot, which is all I can ask for. Whoop. Thankfully, I dodged that and then didn't lose my HP. Oh, wasn't expecting him to jump in place like that. So I'm still one shot away if he jumps on me. But his projectiles and his rocks will not kill me. Once again, I am the victim of rock RNG should it decide to not play out in my favor. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. So he does, if you're super far away, he will dash towards you before jumping to... His jump can only go so far. Yeah. I probably could have dodged that, but just sometimes the rocks don't agree with where you want to be. And who am I to argue with a rock to the face? Oop. Whoop. So if you accidentally fall to your quote-unquote demise here, you just get booted out. You don't die or lose anything. Alright. Whoop. Yeah, I got greedy. That's my fault. 2 hits, and then back off. Making some good DPS here. Dung Defender is doing work as always, but yeah, since he keeps jumping to where you were, he gets hit by that. Alright, another shockwave. We don't see a third, but I didn't trust it, so I didn't think I could dash underneath him, so I dashed forward. Unfortunately, there was a rock in my way. There really is no good time to heal during his main parts of his phases. You really have to wait till here to heal. I really don't think you have any time at all to ever feel safe in healing otherwise. So yeah, he seems to sometimes try to use the shockwave if his back is up against the wall, which is why rather than DPS him there, I chose to try and reposition first, get 2 free hits, and then back off. He's going to do 2 shockwaves, a third shock, nope, just a jump. Here comes a shockwave. Well, at least I didn't get hit there. Whew. I almost dodged away and that would have gotten me hit for sure. Alright, shockwave, but I can get some hits in first. Second one, do I see 3? I do not, but yeah, that is the challenge, knowing if he's gonna, how many shockwaves he's gonna do in a row. Sometimes it's convincingly 3. Oop. That was just bad spacing, that's my fault. He is I honestly really like this boss because he was my first... I know this is going to sound disappointing, but he was my first legitimate challenge in my original playthrough, and frankly, he's still my first original challenge in this playthrough. Nothing so far has really pushed me to play well, other than possibly you shouting at the screen saying, hey, do this, do that, because you suck. And then, you know what? It's probably earned. But, yeah. Bad rock RNG there. Sometimes the rocks just don't let you dodge in the way you need to for the best outcome, but it's still better than letting him sit on you, so... Yeah. It's very... I find it very risky to dash in the same direction he's jumping when he does his just, like, targeting at you jump. And the reason for that is primarily, he swings down with his mace, and that mace has a pretty far reach, so unless you're super far away, you're not reliably going to be able to dodge that, at least not in my experience, and so I'd rather not risk it when I can just try and play it safe. Alright, so he might do a shockwave here. Yeah, okay, so I think that's the key for when he chooses to do his shockwave outside of his normal pattern of jumping backwards before he does it, and it's when his back is like right up against a wall. So the best course of action is to reposition towards the center of the room. Got a free hit on that rock. Yeah, I knew I was going to get hit by that, but it was better than him landing on me. I probably had enough distance between me and him that I could have jumped away, but man, the rock RNG is being brutal right now. I'm 1 hit away from death. Oh, good. If he had swung his mace there, I was dead. Let's see. Not a good position. Oh, good. Alright, so this will bring me up to 5 HP, which means I can survive 3 hits. Or, I can tank 2 and die on the 3rd is more what I mean. Alright, thankfully rock RNG is convenient this time. Get some free hits with the rocks. This he may do a shockwave on, so let's back off. Oh, I dodged the wrong way, that's my fault. Alright, I can still survive one heavy hit. Managed to dodge the rock on that one. It was pretty close. He's going to do another set of shockwaves. Okay. Smack him a bunch. Whoop, I was a little slow on that. I think I'll be able to phase him before he can kill me, I hope. He shouldn't have too many hits left on him. Whoop. There we go, okay. I'll only be able to heal 2 hearts, so I can only take 1 full hit before I die. But I'll try and get this real quick. Okay. Thankfully, Rocket RNG cooperated. Oh! Did we beat him? I wasn't counting the phases. Oops. We beat him. Wow. Haha! Well, that's a lot better than taking like 2 or 3 hours to beat. Woo, we did it! Alright, let's see what he had to say. I wanted it, the strength to protect the others. When I saw that knight sleeping safe in his big armored shell, it wasn't madness that drove me to it. I just wanted it. But in the end, if strength cannot save you, then what can? Alright. I have defeated my first ever archnemesis in Hollow Knight. And I'd say that only took me about 20 minutes, so not too bad. I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, I've pretty much, because of how much I fought him, I have learned how to deal with him to a T. Every single pattern of his I recognize, and honestly I've made even more progress now because I understand what triggers the shockwave when his back is up against a wall. That was one thing that I was missing in my original playthrough, so I would try to be a little more aggressive towards him when he was backed up against a wall, and I suffered for it a couple times. More than a couple, maybe. But yeah, we did it. So I think that's where I'll end this episode then. Let's end it on a high note. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I hope you liked kind of seeing how my mental deconstruction of boss mechanics works. It was fun. With all that said, though, I hope you're sleeping well. If you're not sleeping, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. And you have a pleasant night and sweet dreams. I love you, Kiwi. I'll see you in the next one.